And so I was so passionate about that because I knew what it had done in my life, that everybody I recruited, I made sure they got the religion on the front end. And said, let me tell you something, if you're here for the money, now ain't no sin making a lot of money. You know, I hope you can make a ton of it, okay? But I want you to understand, rule number one is you got to believe with everything that's in you in the goodness and the rightness of what we're all about.
Right.
You know, I have something I talk about at my seminars. Coach Lombardi, who was, you know, a real hero, you know, the famous coach of the Green Bay Packers, when he was dying of cancer, the last business group that he ever spoke to before he died, he said, it was a few hundred people in Washington, D.C., he said to these business executives, he said, I'm fixing to tell you the secret now to winning in business. And of course a hush comes over the room and these people sit up and they're watching every word because they're fixing to hear from the legend, you know, himself, telling them how to win in business, you know. And he said the secret to winning in business is heart power. You capture a person's heart, you capture the person. If you want to win, you've got to make your people fall in love with your company. And A.L. Williams made its people fall in love with our company and the things we stood for. And the money was second. You know, nothing wrong with making a lot of money as long as you're doing what's right for the consumer out there, you know. But it has to be second. You've got to be passionate about what you do. And after I won, and A.L. Williams won, and so many of my teammates won, I found out the most important thing is your heart. You win with your heart first. See, I found out you win on emotion first, not on logic. See, when you go to business schools, these professors, everything is logical. They got everything down and it sounds so good. You go to a Tom Hopkins seminar. I mean, everything sounds so logical. He teaches you how to say this and how to ask this question, and it just sounds so logical. But after it's all over, and I'm sitting here writing this history book and thinking about how we did it, we revolutionized an industry, had mind-boggling success. I found out that you don't win on logic. I just love to compete, you know, and as a coach, boy, right there, you know, about 7 o'clock before you get ready to go do battle, you know, at 8 o'clock, you know, I mean, the butterflies, you know, I just love that feeling, you know. And we built A.L. Williams with that kind of energy, you know, and like I said, I call it the Friday night feeling. And I had so many moments in my career at A.L. Williams that I talked about in the book, where I just knew, you know, sometimes you go in a game and you just know you're going to fixing to wipe them out. I mean, you just everything, you just come together, everything's ready. You got the right game plan, the kids are motivated, you know, they're on top of the light poles, and we just going to get them, you know. And I had so many of those moments in A.L. Williams. I think maybe the first one was when I met Bo Adams and got to know him and asked him to join us and actually build the inside of the company, because I didn't know anything about computers and, you know, building an administrative arm of the company. And I was killing myself, you know, the first couple of years in A.L. Williams and trying to do everything, you know, negotiate new products with the company and new commissions and building support systems behind the scenes, and yet trying to motivate the troops, you know, and all that kind of thing. And so I found Bo Adams, and when I found Bo Adams, just something clicked. And as I honored Bo in the book by calling him the all-time A.L. Williams most valuable person, because A.L. Williams probably would never have made it without him. There's no question that if we had made it to a certain extent, we never would have become the force in the industry that we were without Bo. But we were just so, when we united, you know, I called him Mr. Inside and I was Mr. Outside, and he was a former coach, you know, but we just hit it off just like that. And so I turned going out and raising the money over to Bo and building the support system and giving us the commissions and all this kind of stuff, and then I was going to be out there selling the dream and motivating the troops, and that kind of thing. And when we came together, at that moment, I said, it's happened. It's going to work. This thing really is going to get big. I think another time is when, from a real crisis, we were with National Home Life at that time, our second insurance company, and we were negotiating with him to build a home office in Atlanta, Georgia, just for the A.O. Williams people, because A.O. Williams was an odd duck, and these companies were always trying to fit us into their way of doing business, and we were just so anti-traditional industry, that it just didn't work. And so I told Bo when he joined me, I said, Bo, we've got to get our own home office. We got to get our own support system, totally 100% geared to A.O. Williams, or this thing is not going to work, long range. And so we went to work on that, and we had a private meeting with Art DeMoss, who's the owner of National Home Life. It's sort of interesting how all this kind of stuff, and we capture a lot of this in the book, but how it works, it just, the Lord just, it's mysterious, how he has his hands in all this. And we were to meet Art DeMoss at his house on Wednesday, and he died of a heart attack on Saturday. And at that moment, I knew it was over, because the family was going to put the company up for sale. And when you sell life insurance, you pay like 300% of the premium. It takes you 4 or 5 years to start making a true cash profit. And when you put a company up for sale, you don't want to create more debt, And so we'd been talking to PennCorp out in Santa Monica, and I'd met Stanley Bauer, who became my favorite CEO of all time. He loved A.O. Williams, and he believed in this thing. And he said, we'll build you a home office in Atlanta, Georgia, but it'll take 18 months. And here Art DeMoss died, and Bo said, maybe I can keep us in business for 6 months, Well, it's going to take 18 months. And we said, well, if you want our business, you got 6 months. And so he said, well, we'll try. So boy, they came down to Atlanta, and they found a facility, and they bought the computers, and they hired the people, and Sandy, it was ridiculous, the effort that Bo and some of his people paid during those months. It's just unbelievable.
Good morning. NSDs, this is the most honored room in the A.O. Williams Company. When you walk in this room, you can just feel the tradition of our company. In 1977, when our company was born, we had a dream that one day A.O. Williams would change the thinking of the largest industry in the world, that one day A.O. Williams would become one of the most famous companies in all of American business, and that day has arrived. And all the thinking, all the planning takes place in this room. Most corporations in America have a boardroom, but A.O. Williams has a war room. A.O. Williams wants to win. We want to be somebody.
But when I pulled in the parking lot and I saw that home office just for A.O. Williams, it was another magical moment where I had that Friday night feeling. I said, it's going to work. We're going to beat those guys, There were so many more, One of the last big meeting we had at the Superdome in New Orleans, where we had 40,000 of our leaders. You had to be a leader to come. And when I got off that elevator, we'd had a reception up in one of the skyboxes, in the Superdome, with President Ford. He was one of our guests, and Sandy Weil, and some of these people, Joe Gibbs, and these people. And so I was the first speaker, and Angela and I were to walk out on the stage, and then Angela was going to walk down, I was going to speak. And as I rode down the elevator, and I got off at the bottom of the Superdome, and I walked and looked behind the curtains at 40,000 people sitting out there, I can't even verbalize the feeling I had. I said, you got to be kidding me. This thing is so big, you're out there fighting the fight every day, and it's just hard to ever just say you've made it, And I think at that time, I thought we had made it.
We found a better way to build a company by championing the cause of part-timers,
By building a management company and a team concept, we've been able to go to the communities of America and attract a better quality person that's ever come into financial services before. Folks, A.L. Williams has a management philosophy of building strong personal relationships. In every management decision at A.L. Williams, I expect you to put the human factor in there. I expect you to consider the person. You know what? In the largest industry in the world, we beat 2,200 other companies too. And I believe if you don't do what's right 100% of the time, you might get by for one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, but sooner or later they're going to smell you out. Well, folks, when you come to work at A.L. Williams, you're going to find a company that not only has a heart, we want to do what's right. Are we perfect? No. Do we screw up every dadgum day? But our heart's in the right place. We want to do what's right.
Hey, folks, do you understand what I'm telling you? I'm telling you a management philosophy in one sentence that guarantees you to be a superstar in business. Hey, listen. Do you know Benjamin Franklin ain't ever said nothing compared to what I'm fixing to tell you today in Chicago? Listen, you're gonna miss it. This is pure genius. Folks, this is all there is wrapped up in one sentence. 9 words. Guaranteed to make you wealthy. You ready? Gonna save you thousands and thousands of hours of agony and frustration. Are you ready? All right, here it is. Here it is. My entire management philosophy. Listen, the whole ball game, guaranteed to make you a superstar. Here it is. All you can do is all you can do. Hey! All you can do is all you can do. There ain't nothing more than all you can do. That is the absolute maximum. You can't do no more than all you can do. You understand that? All you can do is all you can do. All you can do is everything. That's the absolute ultimate, right? But the second part of that saying is all you can do is all you can do, but all you can do is enough.
Oh, I think the people that read this book, no matter what business you're in, you know, it's just gonna thrill you so, you know, just to think that there was a group of people tough enough, you know, and determined enough to fight the fight, and then look at what these people accomplished, you know. What an unbelievable legacy we left this world. Those little old 85 people, that little old peanut, grew to such a force in the largest industry in the world that we changed an entire industry, you know, and I put the facts and figures, you know, in there to support all that, you know. Like I always said, the scoreboard don't lie. You know, at the end of the game, you know, statistics are for losers. They talk about how many first downs they made, how many of this and all that kind of stuff, you know. But a winner, the only thing that matters is the scoreboard, and the scoreboard tells it all. A.L. Williams did it. We kicked their butt big time.